Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledging knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and happy new year from the deck of the SSS Rapapa. This is Topic Thunder. Welcome into the program, ladies and gentlemen. We fashion ourselves as the Internet Saloon, and on cold winter nights such as this, we offer a warm hearth to kind of come up and have a warm your body, have a nice libation, and discuss things. It is well, it's Topic Thunder. You guys know this, right? And for all you joining us, maybe for the first time on the YouTubes or the Facebook, Twitch, or occasionally, I guess now Instagram is streaming, so we might need to get on there too. Interesting, right?
If it's streaming, we should be on there.
And so, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, introductions. My name is Brooks. That's Ben. You are currently in the world's most dangerous chat zone. That is that right over there, folks. We call that the Thunderdome. Very creative and original, but it is the world's most dangerous chat zone and the lifeblood of the show. So thank you, everybody. There's already some great people.
They're going to be carrying the load tonight.
Yeah. Why is... Well, you know, we're going to get to that in just one second, Ben. That first link first, but as you're ramping up, that's a tease, as we call it in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we talked, it was pre-Christmas, and we discussed that Gigi and I were going to take a trip down to exotic St. Louis for some Christmas revelry, and we did. As promised. So we met one of Gigi's film school friends who opened up a pizzeria in St. Louis, a heavy metal pizzeria.
Interesting.
Pizzeria in St. Louis. Kind of like, think if you're Chicago adjacent, think Kuma's Corner.
Okay.
All right. It's called the Headless Bat. And folks, just to let you know, just to show you, I'm kind of sporting the merch because I'm a merch guy, right? Oh yeah, give it its due.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I love that. That looks cool.
It's named. Let me move the beard out of the way.
Oh, that's very nice.
Right, the Headless Bat, of course, the infamous story of Ozzy Osbourne, famously biting the head off a bat on stage and spitting it out. That's Ozzy Osbourne. Him and Black Sabbath invented heavy metal rock and roll. So this entire restaurant is themed around heavy metal. And
I love that idea of themed restaurants like this. I think it's so cool.
Oh, I bet it was great because there's like horror elements too. So there's like a Chainsaw Massacre poster and like Alice Cooper stuff, and there's like little action figures, like little nichey things that like kind of tied the whole thing together. And of course, heavy metal, on the stereo, which you had no control over, which I came to appreciate, to be honest with you, because everything was of the same genre and nothing really like went this way and then that way. And it was just a consistent vibe. And her friend, Rick Giordano, no relation, Chicago pizza fans.
Funny enough.
Right? Went and opened this place, and by gosh, man, we met up with some of Gigi's St. Louis friends, and Ben. Oh my God, I'm going to sound awful and awfully old, but my God, man, we just had a good time.
Good,
like a fantastic restaurant, great. To tell you how busy we went on their fourth day open. They were so busy that even though Gigi knew the owner, and then eventually friends knew the owner even better that showed up, we still waited an hour.
Wow.
For a table.
That's good.
They do slices. So the pizzas, there's like 4 or 5 pizzas on the menu, and they all look fantastic. I got 3 slices. You don't have to buy one pizza for the table, and everybody's like got to agree or disagree. But like, right. And I just spent how much on a pizza? You can do slices. So a fantastic time. They had themed drinks too. They had some pinball machines there too. So they had like an Iron Maiden pinball machine, like everything was themed, decorations, art on the wall, everything. And I just had a really great time. So shout out to the Headless Bat in St. Louis for such a fantastic time, and good luck to our new friend of the show, Rick Giordano, for a great creation down there in St. Louis. I hope that place thrives forever and ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And amen. So Ben,
Yes.
this next segment, let me just quickly do my thing, and then you could do your thing, because I think the longer we drag this out,
Yes.
that's for you non-radio nerds. This, in radio terms, is stretch.
Right.
There's a reason I'm stretching, folks. We do a segment to open the show that we celebrate having a drink, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a drink or alcohol or any type of libation. It could be, there have been other things ingested on this show, smoked and taken, ingested. Like, great, okay. So, in this particular moment,
This is one of those nights.
this is one of those nights, folks. Just to kind of maybe wrap up the St. Louis thing, on the way to St. Louis, Gigi and I always, and I mean always, woo, Ric Flair woo, always stop at a rest stop, truck stop, haven oasis in the desert that is boring Middle Illinois, called Wally's.
Yes, we've had this discussion many times. I compare it to Buc-ee's. Very similar.
Okay.
Yes,
it is just nirvana if you're traveling by car or truck or whatever motorized vehicle on I-55 through lovely Pontiac, Illinois. They had beer this last time we visited, Ben.
Nice.
So on this show, I'm gonna drink a Wally's Big Hoss.
Nice.
So that's how we're gonna kick off this segment, but that is, hold on, not how we're gonna end this segment, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I've got a big hoss too.
You took 3 big hosses.
Yes, I did.
So cheers, Ben. Go for it.
Yeah, our friends at Delta 8 Denton hooked me up with these Amanita mushrooms. Now, you pointed this out to me. I didn't even realize this when I sent it to you pre-show. We actually discussed the Amanita mushroom just 2 weeks ago on this very show.
The Christmas mushroom, the Santa mushroom, right?
Yes. So non-psilocybin, it's completely legal here in the state of Texas, sold here in the state of Texas over the counter. So I took, it said 30 to 45 minutes activation. So at almost exactly 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I took 3 of these bad boys. And I'll tell you, it did not take that long for them to kick in. By 6:45, I was feeling it. And here we are now, 7:09 Central Standard Time. And whoo, it's been a long time since I have felt this this way.
And there he is. Hayden is in the world's most dangerous chat zone right now. So shout out to him and to Billy Wack, Amy Cleaver. I don't know who Hollow is, but I appreciate your tuning in. I got business in
Pineapple
there.
on pizza. I'm okay with that. Just so we're clear.
We got VIPs in the room too. So Dad F and Brooks and Ma Jordan, thank you very much. I want to send Ben or talk about what Ben sent me when I asked him, like, oh geez, Ben, what's in those gummies? So he sent me the back of the supplemental facts section there. So you took how many?
3.
Okay, 3.
Yes.
Can we confirm this one more time? Ben, say I took 3.
I took 3 gummies at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay,
so we're 40 minutes into this travel.
Yes.
Hard-boiled gargoyle. I love that name. Thank you. One gummy they describe as happy-go-lucky.
And I probably would feel exactly that if I had just taken one.
Maybe 30 minutes ago.
Maybe 30 minutes. Yeah.
But you're not there now.
Nope.
At 2 gummies, they describe the experience as beginner's paradise.
probably where I should have probably come in, because it's been a long time since I have been down this road, and I am not 25 years old anymore.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
At 3 gummies, which Ben, I want to confirm again.
That's where I'm at. That's where we did. Yeah, that's where we landed. That's where we took off, I should say, actually.
This as a psychedelic experience.
Yes.
And we are now 41 minutes into this. Just for full disclosure, they only go 1 to 4. So the 4th gummy would apparently enter you into full melt mode.
I would not be able to do this broadcast if I had taken one more of these.
You don't know that you could do this broadcast in the next
I
20
am
minutes.
not 100% sure I'll make it through this
might be
broadcast.
a solo joint, as they say in the biz.
Hayden took 5 of these bad dogs, and that, my friends, is what I would describe as a heroic dose of these, because where I'm at right now, I am feeling good. Don't get me wrong. I am not having a bad time by any stretch of the imagination. I feel really good. I'm in a good headspace. I feel good. This is what I remember this experience to feel like. Yeah. And it is very similar to psilocybin. I couldn't tell you the difference. If this didn't say psilocybin free on the package, I would have said it's the same. I feel no different as far as the experience goes. But having said that, one more of these would have been too much.
I just want to
I could have done. If I could have eaten. If I could just sit by myself and listen to Tool, and not have to like interact with people and have
that's a
be
good
part
way
of
to
a show. I could eat 5 of these and really enjoy myself.
Ben, funny enough, I just want to point out the time right now. It is 7:13 in 20 minutes at 7:23. Actually, in 10 minutes, 7:23. We're gonna check in no matter what we're doing. I don't care what horrific stories we're talking about.
Yes.
I'm going to check in to see where you are at 7:23. And can you ship it to Illinois? I don't know. Well, we'll just talk about that. Take that, as they call offline. Take that conversation offline.
No, I mean, it's 100% legal. This is the thing, guys. 100% legal. It was on the packaging. This is legal to be sold in the state of Texas. And if it can be sold in the state of Texas, that's why I was like 3. I was not scared of 3 of these, because I thought if it's legal in the state of Texas, it's got to be like really weak. Because the state of Texas doesn't allow anything. They barely allow drinking around here. And so I was skeptical. But yes, they can be. It's totally legal. There's nothing illegal about these products. I want to point that out. And that's what makes this experience so cool, because I don't have to be scared of like not telling people what I did because it's illegal, or, I had to go about nefarious means to get it. No, man. Delta 8 Denton hooked it up. I've got more. I am going to enjoy the shit out of these. I'm telling you.
And we're going to keep track of your progress throughout the evening. But yeah, shout out to Denton, Delta 9?
Delta 8.
Delta 8 Denton. Thank you.
I think I said that right. If I keep screwing that up, I apologize.
And Mod Jordan's in. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome to the world's most fantastically named segment, The Headlines. Nobody does it better, but nobody does it worse. So that puts us in a really good position, the way I see it.
I agree. Ryan Hansen, thank God I didn't take the whole pack. Thank God. Because I would have probably had a conversation with said God had I taken the whole.
And see, you could have come back and had and told us all about it. See, and disprove the greatest question, or prove the greatest question of all time. See, Ben, that's it.
Instead, I'm just going to have funny conversations with y'all while I'm tripping balls.
Okay. That's the thesis of Topic Thunder. Mm-hmm. That'll be my doctoral thesis. Oh, it's my podcast. Look, I honestly say that I checked a lot of news sites and not a lot of news
I didn't know about this until you sent me the headline, Brooks. I didn't know that this was a thing.
At least 9 U.S. state capitol buildings were evacuated today after they received bomb threats.
You think that would be a bigger deal? Yeah. Huh?
What? In what can only be this is not the AP. This is me or the Guardian, by the way, our good friends at the Guardian. This is not me. Not the Guardian. This is just me. Uh, this is a coordinated effort, and nowhere in this story does anybody say anything corroborating that idea. Here's the story. At least 9 Capitol buildings across the U.S. were under evacuation orders on Wednesday due to bomb threats, according to officials.
That's crazy.
Government buildings in Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Kentucky, Maine, Michigan, Mississippi, and Montana received bomb threats via email to the offices of secretaries of state and legislative officials. The FBI said it was working with state, local, and federal law enforcement to gather, share, and act on information. The agency said it was aware of numerous hoax bomb threats at the state capitol buildings, but, quote, had no information to indicate a specific or credible threat, end quote. Also,
All right,
quote,
that's a slightly reassuring, I guess.
no, not at all. The FBI takes hoax. This is from the FBI. The FBI, they're talking in the rock third person. The FBI! The FBI takes hoax threats seriously because it puts innocent people at risk. Thanks, guys. Officials from some of these states have also confirmed the threats and issued statements. Scott Driscoll of the Connecticut State Capitol Police told staff and legislators, quote, earlier this morning, the Connecticut State Capitol Police received complaints from numerous employees about a suspicious email that was received. Let me repeat that. Numerous employees received a suspicious email. That email, which apparently was sent to numerous states, claimed to have placed multiple explosives in the Capitol building.
Jesus.
Andy Bashar, the Kentucky governor, wrote on X. Twitter.
X gonna give it to him.
Yeah, X has lost 71% of everything of its bought value. Quote, while, again, Andy Bashar, Kentucky governor, while everyone is safe, KSP has asked everyone to evacuate the state capitol and is investigating a threat received by the Secretary of State's office. Again, a pattern. We are aware of similar threats made to others across the country. We thank our first responders for their quick response and will provide more updates. You probably won't provide more updates.
Mm-hmm, probably not, because we barely even knew about this one.
Right. So it goes on to list a whole bunch of quotes from various state and government.
Yeah, it seems to be the same recurring theme over and over again.
And everybody's saying the same thing. We're looking into it. We understand this happened. We evacuated people to keep people safe, and now we're looking into it.
I mean, it's over and over. Yeah.
Over and over. And they even at the end, for some reason, for some stupid reason, at the end, is somehow this is adjacent to the story. On Christmas, in recent weeks, other hoax threats were made to individual politicians. Last week, Republican Florida Senator Rick Scott's home was swatted. You know what SWAT is? Somebody's calling the cops.
That's a shitty thing to do, yes.
It's a terrible thing to do, right? I mean, it literally means the SWAT team's coming. On Christmas Day, in one of several instances of receiving similar threats, authorities arrived at the home of the Republican Congresswoman Marjorie, I almost said Majori. Right? Taylor Greene in Rome, Georgia, in a response to a swatting call to a suicide hotline.
Jesus.
But I don't think those two events, I don't think these things are the same thing.
That at the end of this story, it doesn't seem to be connected whatsoever.
So why mention it, Guardian?
I
trusted you.
I'm admittedly on mushroom gummies, but I don't see the connection here.
Right? And you think you would see the connection.
If there was ever a time, I would see the connection. Right, I'm seeing lots of things at the moment.
Well, okay. Well, let's see a lot of other things. Let's see actual bombs then going off.
Oh,
geez. And if you haven't heard, there was a terrorist attack in Iran that killed almost 100 people. It probably will cross the century mark there as far as fatalities, because there's a lot of people critically injured. Did you hear about this?
I did not.
So our friends at the BBC. 95 killed in bomb blast near Iran General Qasem Soleimani's tomb, state TV. Ben, about 2 years ago, right about this time, you and I covered. Actually, this was not 2 years ago. I think this was like 6 years ago. We covered the
In a whole
different
nother
podcast,
life.
a whole
Yeah.
different podcast.
Yeah.
The assassination, the United States assassination of a general in Iran, and not just a general. He was probably regarded as the number two in charge of and most powerful person in Iran. That kind of matters in a place like that. We killed him in a drone strike while he was in Iraq. Okay, so he's an Iranian general, and we killed him in Iraq. So that escape, or at least
There's
like
a lot
provided,
of moving. There's a lot of moving parts there.
right. We had some autonomy to do things in Iraq, but we couldn't do things across borders in Iran. So they were celebrating his passing today, and there was a terrorist attack. Specifically, 2 bombs went off during the celebratory funeral procession. And if you scroll down to see the map of where this happened in Kerman, it was a very sophisticated bombing attack because there were 2 blasts, there were 2 explosions. They happened about 8 minutes apart or so. So that's basically if you ever wanted to maximize the number of casualties and severe injuries in a bombing, you don't just do it once. You do it twice. You get people to flow into one specific area where you could set off another one for maximum.
Yeah, that's
carnage.
super evil. That's like extra evil.
And it's a known tactic in many terrorist organizations. It is a celebratory funeral procession. Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was a weird way to put it, but yes, yeah.
I mean, they were literally carrying around mock coffins of him and had
Different culture, but goddamn, that's weird.
And if you could get the day off,
I guess,
and do that, all right, cool, man. Like, right on.
You're also putting yourself in position to be part of this type of nonsense too, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, this just comes at a time where there's absolutely nothing else going on in the Middle East or other parts of the general area.
Was there anything going on recently?
Nothing. So much that we haven't even talked about it. But we all know what we're talking about. The situation between the government of Israel and Hamas, and the struggle of the people, not only the Palestinian people, the displaced non-Hamas supporting Palestinian people, but the Israeli people who are just like, look, we don't want this shit either. Like, we've talked about the complicating situation that is, and this is not that story. What we are talking about is the situation that could be throwing either, you decide, more kerosene on the situation or the match. Because
so who's taking responsibility, if anybody, at this point?
Well, this is where it gets fun, isn't it, Ben? Because now we're talking about the control of information. And this show has focused on one thing, either accidentally or on purpose, over the last few years. It has been overwhelmingly about the control of information. Who can get it out there first? Who can shout it the loudest? Who can catch that quick 20 and 30 second attention span of somebody watching a headline on TikTok or Twitter or Facebook? And that's kind of where we are, right? So the story goes on to describe some of the horrors that they found, and we don't have to go into that because I don't want to harsh your buzz. It's a bombing situation, right?
Nothing about it's fun.
Nothing about it's fun. And here in the U.S., we can take you can just kind of close your eyes if you're old enough and see some of the things that happened on 9/11 and some of the things we saw on TV. I know Aaron wasn't alive at that time, but you can also imagine the things that happened during the Boston Marathon bombing. Some of the things you saw then too. Same situation. These are still human beings. Let's just put that out there too, right? These are just people celebrating whatever they believe.
Sure.
At that moment, they were
Like I said, it's a different culture. I think it's weird, but it's their culture, and I have to I do respect that. Like they are honoring this man in some fashion. It is an honor that they're doing. They're not like doing it. What's the word I'm looking for? Besmirchingly.
right. It's not meant to disgrace. It's meant to celebrate.
Disgrace.
Because they kind of consider him a martyr. That's a big deal, and that what ends up being the kind of like deciding and decisive factor in this situation is that like uh, Iran would probably be tending towards blaming Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything that's coming out is apparently that this was an internal affair by what's known as the Islamic State inside Iran that has actually conducted other terrorist-like events and attacks on Iranian people and the Iranian regime specifically, which Soleimani definitely represented, right? So this is more likely an internal affair, and
Like a resistance type of something.
look, yes, and I can get back to that in a second, but yes, like this is a group. This is an internal group. Think MAGA. This is an internal group in their country that is so vehemently opposed to the Iranian regime, only purely based on the differences in their belief in Islam, the Sunni and Shiite, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like saying Presbyterian and Catholic
Got
in
it.
Christian terms, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
a sect of that particular religion. They really don't like each other. And this cuts across a lot of Middle Eastern politics and modern and past day, to be honest with you, these different sects, right?
Mm-hmm.
So more likely than anything, it is an internal situation, but in the control of information and with everything going on with these masterminds, literally masterminds, pushing and prodding and moving things on a chessboard and not in what our American eyes and attention spans can comprehend, but we talk about the long game all the time on the show,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to push things on the chessboard and knowing when somebody else's resources are stretched, all that fun stuff. To have one more thing added into this situation is actually pretty dangerous. And to come back to what you're asking, like, well, why would they do this? What's their? Was it them? Is this just another apparatus of like the pushing the buttons to move us into what can really be described like we are we've talked about it before, and we are riding this weird wave that pushes worlds into war. Sides
Right up to the edge of it.
How could you not see that right now? And that's part of the problem. Like it's like
Multiple times we've pushed up to the edge of it now. Like how many times can you get up to the edge of this before you finally teeter over?
an apparatus of terror, right? An
Yeah.
axis of evil,
Yes.
right? We've
By the way,
heard this.
checking back in, we're a few minutes late because I think it was 7:24. You wanted to
Oh
check.
god damn it! That ruined a whole big thing. So
no worries. We're doing just fine.
I'm going to
Although
check
I will
back
say,
with you at
I will
7:32.
say it is actually kind of mellowed out. It doesn't feel as intense, and it has started to kind of mellow itself out and regulate it. I don't feel like the
regulator.
I don't feel like the ride is going up as it was 15 minutes ago. I
Okay.
still felt on the rise 15 minutes ago. I feel I have plateaued somewhat this last 10 minutes or so.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know. I should have checked in, and I
No worries.
said I was going to check in.
Look at me.
7:32.
I'm still of the mind that I could check in on myself.
Hey, how about that? It helps out. Ben, we talked about
speaking
this.
of stories that we checking in on.
Right.
2 weeks ago, I was lauding Harvard and the president for standing firm and not bowing to this weird pressure that was coming to her. But the what it did is it shone a light on this woman, this Harvard president, that she had some transgressions, some skeletons in her closet, so to speak, involving plagiarism that came to light. And at that point, now here we are, and she's now she's resigned. So this is now the second of the 3 presidents that appeared in front of Congress. That we showed that clip, that fucking crazy woman that was trying to make a name for herself.
Oh, the Pennsylvania.
Yes, and she was on Fox News last night saying, and was on X gonna give it to him. Yesterday saying 2 down, 1 to go. She's really wearing this as like her 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, she's going back. Yeah, she's still a faculty member. She's just not the president anymore.
And that matters. She resigned her post.
Because remember, president. A lot of the faculty backed her. That's why
a lot of the faculty still backs her.
Right.
But now they've been. If you're not aware, let's catch you up to speed really quick. According from the Washington AP, hello. American higher education has long viewed plagiarism as a cardinal sin. Accusations of academic dishonesty have ruined the careers of faculty and undergraduates alike. The latest target is Harvard President Claudine Gay, who resigned Tuesday. In her case, the outrage came from not her academic peers, but her political foes, led by conservatives who put her career under intense scrutiny. Reviews found multiple shortcomings in Gay's academic citations, including several instances of duplicative language. The university concluded the errors, quote, were not considered intentional or reckless and didn't rise to misconduct, but the allegations continued with new ones recently as Monday.
It sounds like she just had enough and she was like, all right, fine, you win.
It sounds like everybody.
All right, leave me the fuck alone. I'll go back to being a faculty member that you didn't even know existed before Tuesday. And I'm just going to fuck this shit. I don't need this.
This sounds a lot like everybody that was supporting her came to her and said, like, look, now, like, we just can't, whether this is true or not. And trust, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else here watching in the Thunderdome, know this right now. If these standards were applied across the board for university presidents, I don't know, Ben, you think the university president of Auburn
right
is academically sound in all of these same categories and pass all of these tests under this scrutiny?
Probably not.
Florida State University?
Probably, definitely not.
Yeah. The Longhorns there, right there?
No, probably not. Yeah.
There would be a long line of college coaches and other, not coaches, but university presidents looking for other jobs and different.
That may have embellished something on their resume along the way. Yeah. Or written a paper that maybe has some duplicative language.
There's a lot of weird defenses of this coming out, and there's a lot on the side of like everybody kind of does it.
Well, and even they said in their investigation that it didn't rise to the level of
misconduct. But what does that mean? If you were accused of duplicative messaging or language,
basically all it means is someone else had the same idea before you did.
And if this is the only situation that this particular president ran into, honestly, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
It would have been swept under the rug for all the right reasons. And nothing. Right. But here we are, because this particular situation where they were, I don't know, they didn't say the right things the right way in front of Congress, right? That's what it boils down to.
That's what it comes down to, right? And they all could have just done well to have just said, yes, it's anti-Semitic. We shouldn't allow people to say these things in gatherings on the campus.
We believe in free speech, but when it crosses a line into harm and into violence, we disagree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Biz points out they didn't even really call it plagiarism. They call it duplicative language for a reason. If it was plagiarism, they'd call it plagiarism.
Did I say duplicative and you said duplicative?
Listen, one of us is on drugs, so
I'm on Wally's, and just to let you know, it's horrible.
It is.
Big
Yeah,
Haas
it looks like a beer that sucks. I'm not
Big
gonna lie
Haas
to you.
sucks.
Yeah, it looks like a beer that sucks. So I could taste it through the microphone.
My
and
hopes weren't high. I knew what I was getting into. I knew
Right.
what this
You bought it
relationship
at fucking
was.
Wally's fucking Big Hoss beer. You
Right.
knew what you were doing. Our friend Billy Wack does the same thing all the time. He
Right.
purposely puts himself in situations to drink horrible things so he can say that he did it.
It's the adventure, Ben.
Exactly.
But
which is exactly why I took 3
here we
fucking
are.
gummies today.
We're like the Fantastic Four, but we're just 2 of us. So the Fantastic Two.
I feel like a Fantastic Four.
Terrific too.
Yeah,
He's a pioneer.
You are, dude. I tell you, there's no man that will purposefully harm himself for the greater good when it comes to drinking alcohol or beer in specific. That is just the worst. If it costs 99 cents in 2023, he's probably drinking it. Glad.
Dad F. and Brooks repping his favorite beer, Tyskie Forever. That's his favorite. It's a Polish beer, and it's his favorite beer. Ben, just nothing to do with anything. I had a Hams the other day.
No shit.
I had a Hams.
In what context? How did that come about?
I went to get my haircut.
Okay. And that's what they had.
They had a little cooler, and I didn't see it because it was on the top shelf, because you never expect to see Hams on a top shelf.
No.
Anything.
Yeah. Or you don't expect to see it on a shelf at all.
Right. So I saw like a LaCroix, and I was like, oh, okay, they have like a Coke. I haven't had a Coke in forever. Oh, look, 312. Oh, they've got Blue Moon. Oh, wait, there's a PBR. What the fuck? They have Hams? That was the progression. Like
Nice.
a quarterback. Thanks, baby.
Yes. Like reading the defense.
I was reading the defense, and I said, holy shit.
You went from Coke to Hams in the
From
matter
LaCroix
of 3
to Coke.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in a matter of 3 reads.
I looked off my number 1. I looked off my number 3, went back to my number 2, saw the tight end open, and said, yup. Or I guess it's like throwing to the fullback.
Right.
Like, no,
That's what it is. It is. Yeah.
Like,
or running it yourself. Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, the fullback's even worse.
Yeah.
Like, cement hands over there is going to catch a pass.
From Coke to Hams. If we were doing like
Take
titles,
that how you will.
Yeah. That's the title of a fucking album if I ever heard one.
That'll be the 3rd song played at my 2nd funeral.
From Coke to Hams. No context given.
None. So we had a brief laugh, and God knows we need it because we discussed some serious stuff here. But I want to point out that this has been a very, very concerted effort by very, very specific individuals to get this woman ousted from her spot. And if you're not familiar with Christopher or Chris Ruffo, I wasn't until this whole situation really kicked up about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a week ago, really. He's been on various Newsmax things and Fox News, and if you listen to him and you kind of have a center view at all, even center left, even center right, you might pause to think about the ramifications of what he just said. And you're looking at the tweet right now. He tweeted this out. That's his account. That is legitimately
the blue check mark and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, I could.
I poked the bear on that one. I knew what I was doing there.
Yeah. You fucking paid for a fucking blue check on a free dumb app. Congratulations, sir. You're cool.
But yes,
congratulations.
He says it right out in the fucking open. Like, he's not hiding what the agenda was.
We launched the Claudine Gay plagiarism story from the right. The next step is to smuggle it into the media apparatus of the left, legitimizing the narrative to the center-left actors who have the power to topple her, then squeeze.
Yep. They found a point where even the center left and some left leaning people watched that and said, she fucked up. And I can't totally defend her.
And also like the folks that said that I don't want to get my ass involved in that because I don't want this heat.
Yep. That's it. I mean,
they knew what they were doing.
And who's we?
Well, I mean, we've talked about all the actors.
Who's
in this
we?
play, right? This is a psyop. This is what the folks. This is at home. This is what the military industrial.
But he's got a
spy
blue
company
check
calls a
mark, Brooks.
Psychological operation.
He's got a blue check mark. That means that he has been legitimized and looked into, and we know that he is not just an actor for the right or the left or some agenda, because he's got the check mark, Brooks.
Right, because Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk, and he's still a fucking prick.
Right.
This guy is Charlie Kirk, except he has.
But except we didn't know who he was, so he has some
agenda.
He moves under the radar. Like Charlie Kirk likes being in the spotlight. He likes being shared by your favorite right-wing conservative. He likes to see his clips. He likes the shares. He's into the whole social media going viral thing. This dude is on a different level. Like he's, like you said, psyops. He's not out there doing this. He's doing it to legitimately fuck with things, not just to get attention for himself. Charlie Kirk loves the attention for himself,
but that's
right. In the same way, like a Ben Shapiro or a Matt Walsh or a Tucker Carlson, right?
That's their job, though. That's their role in this whole thing, right?
Right.
Speaking of psyops, Ben.
Yes.
Oh boy,
you've been waiting for this one for a long time.
I don't know, because I don't know where I was gonna. This is going to be the part of the story where I was like, I don't know where I am on this anymore, Ben. Epstein accuser says Prince Andrew grew up this. Oh wait, did I send you the right story? No, I certainly didn't, Ben.
This was the link that you sent me about the
names of the
names of people. I don't want.
This is today. Okay, never mind. So we already knew Prince Andrew was a
right. That one was not that was not a secret at all.
So it's a misleading headline for a good story. Thanks, Reuters from New York. Hello.
Yes.
A woman who said she was victimized by deceased sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein said Britain's Prince Andrew put his hand on his breast in 2001. This is not the story.
Well, here's why this story is important.
Thank you.
I'll at least tie
it
and tell you.
You're the one on mushrooms, please.
Yeah, I'll tell you why this story is more. Because of this case, the documents are being unsealed from this case. And in unsealing those documents, it is going to reveal a list of names that were associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, for what that's the flashy headline, right? Oh, Epstein associates to be named in unsealed documents. However, it doesn't, just because you're named in these documents doesn't mean that you were in any way actually associated with the crimes that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were involved in, or even knew of those crimes. You're just an associate. You either did business with Epstein, or you had some sort of friendship or association with him on some level. And funny you say Aaron Rodgers is on that list. No, but I don't think he's on that list, but he got himself in some fucking trouble.
He really did.
He put his foot in his mouth real hard and went at somebody who has got enough money to say, you're not going to fucking say that shit about me. When he said Jimmy Kimmel, he brought up Jimmy Kimmel's name and basically, without saying it, tried to insinuate strongly that Jimmy Kimmel's name was going to appear on that list as some sort of Epstein associate, and that he would have to answer for that. And that he was not looking forward to that list being released because he might appear on that list. And Jimmy Kimmel came out immediately and said, fuck you. And if you want, we can take this to court, motherfucker.
Here's a very interesting thing about that Jimmy Kimmel thing is that they're both Disney employees. Well,
yes.
I guess so.
On some level,
is not a Disney employee, but he's paid by the Pat McAfee show, which is a part of ESPN, which is a part of Disney. So, and by the way, ABC, where Jimmy Kimmel does
they're all married together. Yeah.
They're all one big happy corporate HR department. Yes. Is what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be surprised if Aaron Rodgers makes another appearance on the Pat McAfee show. If Jimmy Kimmel really wanted to make us think about it.
Sure. Right. But Jimmy Kimmel, I could also see Jimmy Kimmel just saying, okay, I said what I said. I made sure I made clear. Just keep my fucking name out of your mouth. If you want to go back on that show and do your fucking thing with Pat McAfee and mouth off and talk about all your conspiracies and be Mr. fucking I'm against authority and vaccines aren't for me, blah, blah, blah. Go do that, but keep my fucking name out of your mouth. And I think that's probably where Jimmy Kimmel's going to probably fall. But he may say, you know what? Fuck this guy. No, fuck him. I don't want him on anymore because Jimmy Kimmel has that kind of power in that company. He's the face of late night for that fucking that whole fucking company. So he's more important than Aaron Rodgers or Pat McAfee.
I would say so, to be honest with you, because ESPN doesn't get to.
Although Pat McAfee is really important to fucking ESPN.
ESPN, sure, but that like when it comes down to it in a brouhaha and budget fight.
Yeah, no,
like,
he doesn't. That's why he came out today. Pat McAfee came out today on his show and said, I didn't want that happening.
I don't want that smoke.
Yeah, I don't want that shit. Please don't fucking include me in that. He went rogue. I don't agree with him. Please. Yeah, he was begging off for sure today.
So as I kind of gathered my thoughts here, yeah, the story we were promised a list of the people who took flights with Jeffrey Epstein to his various locations. And they called it the Lolita Express. And of course, we've heard some of the names: Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. We've heard a bunch of Prince Andrew, right? We've heard a lot of the names. We this time I just checked. Haven't seen that list has not been released still. Apparently, Tom Pritzker, U.S. businessman and brother of J.B. Pritzker, Illinois governor.
I was wondering, any relation? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Heirs to, I believe it's to Hyatt. I know Aunt Chris will let me know that, but I believe they're heirs to the Hyatt hotel empire. That's where their money came from.
So they're like they're like male Paris Hiltons.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I like J.B. Pritzker, and I'm pretty critical of government, right? Like,
from afar, I like what I've seen of him.
So, without getting too into that area, speaking of,
there's been a lot of anticipation. There's been a lot of the list is coming out. The list is coming out. We should any day now. The list is coming out, and the list still has not come out yet. Is where we're at, and so hopefully by this time next week, we'll be talking about some names and. I think once the names come out, there'll be then a digging into, okay, exactly what were the guys? Were they on the flights? Were they just business associates? How many flights were they taking?
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff's going to be dug into. So hopefully by this time next week, it'll actually be a much more developed story that we can actually sink our teeth into.
And a lot of excuses and a lot of backpedaling, a lot of, but what else? But you know what? But you know. This person, but you know, they were on there too. And look, let's be very clear. It is in the Topic Thunder HR policy book. Pedophilia.
We have one of those.
You didn't you didn't do your e-learnings, Ben?
No, I did not. I shouldn't be on the air. I shouldn't be allowed to be on the air tonight.
And HR is going to reach out to you. It's terrible. They're boring people. Yeah, pedophilia is bad.
Really?
It's not good. It's not cool in any regard, in any aspect. And if you're anywhere close to anything related to pedophilia.
Yeah. You have to feel like if you were anywhere close to Jeffrey Epstein on a personal level, you knew of it. It's like Harvey Weinstein, where you knew it was happening, but because everyone else was looking the other way, you looked the other way too, and just didn't acknowledge what you knew you were seeing or knew what you knew. You just didn't acknowledge it because he was throwing lavish parties, and God, wasn't it great to hang out with this guy? And wasn't it awesome to have him invest my money for me and make me money? And
there's a picture out there of Epstein and Giselle with Clinton when Clinton was president. And first of all, they're strikingly younger, but still very recognizable. And Ghislaine, thank you. I don't want to. No, I don't want that smoke either. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Ghislaine,
Tom Brady will come after you.
Oh yeah, right. Ghislaine and Epstein were making direct eye contact with Bill Clinton in this photo, and Bill Clinton was like,
"Please don't look at me. Please don't look at me."
Ghislaine.
It's very French. It's like French, isn't it?
It's French fry, fuck little kids, and
I serve up young women to pedophiles.
Yes,
That's what it's French for.
But sex sells, and we've long talked about the trappings,
unfortunately,
of espionage and the all of the fun stuff that goes into actual real espionage, including what's from the Daily Mail. So take that as you will. But I find this very interesting. High-end sex ring in Boston and DC was honeypot scheme by Russia, China, South Korea, or even Israel, no one's sure, to ensnare U.S. officials. Intelligence experts believe.
They know our weak spot.
Intelligence experts are becoming increasingly convinced that 6 high-end brothels in the suburbs of Boston and Washington, D.C. were set up by a foreign nation.
A foreign nation. We don't know which one.
As an espionage honey trap. They believe the brothels, allegedly masterminded by a 41-year-old South Korean woman, targeted politicians, high-ranking and government officials, and defense contractors. Gee, you couldn't pick 3 more soft spots, I would bet, on the underbelly that is like our like government and nation.
Right.
But the mystery is which country was behind the scheme.
Yes.
Russia,
pick your poison.
China,
There's
Korea itself.
At least 4 viable candidates.
There's
right that you could make, but 4 that you could definitely make easy fucking cases for.
I would throw Saudi Arabia in there in a heartbeat.
Sure.
I would even throw like Great Britain. I wouldn't look
anybody because they know our fucking weakness is our powerful people in this country. Their weakness is fucking young girls.
Craft legislature and defense contractors who decide and who's getting what. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, having the Koreans out front could have been a false flag to give China or another plausible country deniability. If the plot was unveiled, this is from a one-time CIA operations officer that told the Daily Mail in an exclusive interview. So again, take it as you will.
Right.
The brothels were raided in November, and prosecutors said they were looking to charge 28 people in Massachusetts alone. They give you some maps and some fancy pictures of the brothels. I believe what did they call it?
Those look like apartment buildings.
No, they sure do, and that's a hell of an apartment too.
Yeah, and this one here in Cambridge, that one doesn't look like I don't know that I would be going to pay for sex at that place.
So they advertised this as their models, and these were photographic opportunities for people who are willing to pay $600 an hour.
Photographic opportunities.
Yes, you heard me right, Ben. That is
that's how they advertise it on Craigslist, I bet, right?
Oh, sure.
Do they still do that?
Craigslist?
Is Craigslist even a thing anymore?
I'm sure it is, and now it's either really cool because it's out of everybody's like main focus and attention,
or it sucks really bad.
It's just a despot.
I bet it sucks really bad.
Yeah, it might suck really bad.
There's probably still just a lot of illegal activity that goes on there, and it's so nobody goes there anymore.
I mean, if it's
would
legally,
you answer an ad on Craigslist at this point? If someone was selling something on Craigslist, is there anything that someone could be selling on Craigslist that you'd be like, you know what? I think it's worth it. I'm going to respond and try to fucking buy this thing. No.
I mean, if it was
nothing, I can't think of a goddamn thing that I would buy from somebody off of Craigslist.
Sure, if it was like an action figure that I needed to collect the whole collection, like
off of Craigslist, you could find that in so many other places.
I'm not like gonna meet you.
You're really asking for trouble if you answer a Craigslist.
I'm not gonna meet you to get a fucking 6-inch Jar Jar Binks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. You're going to ship that to me. I'll happily pay for that if that's something that I need.
Yes.
If it's available on Craigslist,
Different,
cool.
right? You're not meeting up with someone.
I'm not taking it apart.
You're not meeting up with anybody off of Craigslist,
right? Or like a roommate needed for 2-bedroom apartment. Like,
no,
that's the quickest way to find my organs on the black market.
Yes, that is how you end up dead.
That is how I end up dead and for sale. So, and not all is bad news, folks. I don't want to
no, this is good news.
This is actually really good news. And now my story's blanking out. So, Ben, we covered this story, I think, on a different podcast in a different lifetime.
Oh, yeah. It was a major news story back in the day.
Does anybody remember Kim Davis,
How do you not?
The county clerk in Kentucky that refused to sign a marriage license?
I have her picture in here somewhere, right?
The
story doesn't have her picture. That's crazy. This one doesn't. Sorry.
And I apparently have looked at this website too many times. Oh, there it is. Actually, that little video of her. If you recall, it's the same
by the way, Hulo, or how if I'm saying that wrong.
Hulo.
Craigslist is for posting the numbers of people you don't like under an ad for a free kayak.
Right.
Yeah. Or free puppies. That's another one. Yeah. Free
float
puppies.
Down the river with that free kayak.
Mm-hmm.
Davis.
Kim Davis. You'll remember her, the asshole woman who refused to give a marriage license to a gay couple in Kentucky.
Has been found liable, I guess, guilty. That she denied their legal right to a marriage license, and faces basically a $360,000 payment.
Good.
In damages and court fees to the aggrieved couple. And that's just the first couple.
Bunning called one claim by Davis's lawyer exaggerated and said another belies logic.
Let me just Ben, hold on. I'm gonna take a really quick. Oh, there's the picture I need. This is
I agree, Derek. This lady does suck. Fuck her. I mean, she deserves the worst to absolutely happen to her.
I'm going to there she is. I'm going to share my screen really quick, Ben.
Yeah, please. And share mine.
I got to find where I can share my screen again.
Yeah, it's got to be down there. I don't see your side. By the way, while you're doing that, update 7:57, an hour and a half in. I'm on the downside at this point. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling almost back to normal, frankly. Like just a little bit like wonky. I could feel it a little bit, but an hour ago I was flying to another planet.
Interesting.
And it has dissipated. Now it might be because my brain is connecting with you and we're having conversation where I'm not kind of melting into my own head, where I very easily could have an hour ago. I could have very easily just been like, you know what, Brooks, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'll see you guys later. And just fucking gone on. But I got my shit together and here I am an hour and a half later. I feel good. I feel, but it's not nearly as intense as it was. And I am next week 5. I am going to do 5 in my private life, in my own private time with like earbuds in, listening to some like either Grateful Dead or Tool or something. I'm going to have a really good time with these for sure.
I tried to share my screen. And
I don't know why it wouldn't let you.
That's okay. Look, Kim Davis.
By the way, the Australian guy's back.
Yeah, hello. And I want to shout out to Maria, who I used to work with like a lifetime ago.
Guys, it is a school night. I cannot take the rest of it's a school night. I got to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, you gotta do stuff. So
my mom could tell you me doing this shit on a school night is not a good idea. If I go overboard, my mom could tell you. She's in the crowd tonight. She could tell you it doesn't go well.
I'm right here. I've seen it happen.
Yes, you too. Yes,
folks. Not all government is bad. Here's some good government stuff. Here are a bunch of license plates that were rejected by the Secretary of State of Illinois.
Rejected. All right, from D's nuts. Come on.
There were 54,768 requests for custom license
Wow.
plates submitted to the state of Illinois Secretary of State. 304 of them were rejected for being too inflammatory or too hard to read.
Interesting.
Among
Alright.
the next plates, boner, eat butt, fuck Q, meaty, too woke, poopsty.
Why is it not?
You missed it. It's backed up.
Oh.
Moist, MOYST.
Oh God.
People suck. That's a winner.
Why did that get rejected? That sucks.
Meaty.
Yeah, why did meaty get rejected?
Eat butt. Somebody had to look at that and go and stamp it. Rejected. No,
Yeah,
we can't
boner.
do eat butt.
Poopsy. Somebody had to look at Poopsy and go, nope. Not
Somebody
doing
with a
Poopsy.
government pension making a
But
pretty
why?
decent wage.
Okay, but like moist? What do you got to get? Moist and meaty, I don't get it.
So there were some Irish AF, Black AF, Dope AF. There were among the submissions rejected trying to use the AF suffix.
This does remind me of the Ass Man episode of Seinfeld.
Absolutely. This is a great Ass Man reference and a legendary show and a legendary episode. Dan Brooks knows exactly what that episode is. But D's nuts and like JB sucks. Like this is great stuff. This should be a list published every year.
Yes, I agree. There and I not just Illinois, because you can imagine what Florida got rejected.
Oh God,
you know what I mean? Like we hear from Florida all the time, so you can imagine what the folks in Florida were trying to get on their license plates.
Well, speaking of things that were being rejected,
yes, it's going to be a whole lot harder for kids in Montana and North Carolina.
You want to talk about sparking a civil war? Pornhub has blocked Montana and North Carolina as those states' the age verification laws take effect. In the U.S., Montana and North Carolina have been leading the list of states with the highest number of, quote, searches for VPN over the last few days. That's most likely because their new age verification laws have gone into effect on January 1, and adult websites are now either requiring a copy of the visitor's government ID or those websites have blocked access to those regions altogether. Now,
hold on. And this is in Montana and North Carolina, which...
Oh, it's actually a bunch of other states, but this is, now.
These are both highly Republican conservative states, Montana particularly. And I think that they thought this was doing one thing. And then when you see it on paper, you're like, wait a minute. You have now opened up the floodgates for the internet so you have to now send your document. You have to send an ID to somebody to register that you're going to be on a website. Wait a minute. What did we just fucking sign up for? You dumb fucks.
Right. If anybody in Montana or North Carolina tries to access one of these websites, which includes Braziers, RedTube.
Brazzers, by the way.
Brazzers, thank you. I didn't know the pronunciation. I've never been there.
I don't know. Don't ask why I know that.
RedTube, YouPorn, and Pornhub. They'll see a video message from performer Cherie DeVille explaining that giving a copy of their ID to adult platforms puts their children and their privacy at risk. Quote, "We believe that the best and most effective solution for protecting children and adults alike is to identify users by their device and allow access to age-restricted materials and websites based on that identification," DeVille added.
So we're cool. Just so I want to make sure we're all on the same page. We're cool with the government telling us which websites we can and cannot access.
I mean, we're cool with the government telling us Females don't have control over their bodies. Look where this
Just want to make
similar
sure that we
laws.
understand where we're at here.
Similar laws in Louisiana, Utah, Arkansas, Mississippi, Virginia, and Texas have passed their own versions of this.
Oh, Texas, of course.
Well, of course, right? They're
But these things are fucking legal, at least. So
look, if you ban porn in Texas, look out. Look out.
Texas is a weird place, man. They want to talk about freedom, but then nothing is really free around here. You can't do any of the cool stuff.
I mean, and I
gamble, fucking drink on Sundays in a lot of places.
But all of that stuff
smoke marijuana
goes
none
on,
of the cool
right?
stuff.
But it still goes on, and that's
yes.
like the weird thing,
goes on a lot.
Right. Nobody gambles in Texas.
No. And there's no reason that on the borders, as close as you possibly can get to the state of Texas, in Oklahoma and New Mexico, they have casinos basically lining the borders, just inviting people from Texas. Oh yeah, please come here to Oklahoma to gamble. It's so dumb. Yeah, carry 12 guns in your back? Sure. Liquor on Sundays? Can't do it. Sorry.
Ben, you know what grinds my gears?
Well, I can probably think of a number of things, but what's the latest thing?
People who think that celebrating New Year's Day resets their virginity.
Now that's just some crazy talk.
And from Metro, hi. In what appears to be the most surprising trend of the new year so far.
Yeah.
We're
only 2 days in.
Social media users are jokingly declaring that right, because that never catches wildfire on the internet.
No, definitely not.
Are declaring that when the clock struck midnight, they became virgins again.
No.
Lil Nas
X. Oh, okay. Well, if he said it.
A quote. It's 2024, meaning all of our body counts have been reset to 0. What? And non-famous folks have jumped on the bandwagon too. Quote, who else woke up a virgin? Asked Hugh at Jazz. Huge ass.
Yeah, I had to click on it to see who Hugh Jass was.
I mean, what were you? That's
I don't know. That was not what I was hoping.
We've heard of the new year, new me, but this is something else. And it actually says a lot about our current attitudes about sex and virginity, which is surprisingly outdated for 2024.
By the way, Hugh Jass does have a bloop fucking check mark.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Does she? Oh no,
no.
Does. Okay, I thought it did. That's great.
Sex expert, and this is actually why I really wanted to do the story. Sex expert and site manager of the sex positive sex toys website Bed Bible.
Sex positive sex toys. They were a great fucking punk band.
They were the best punk band.
For real. Sex positive sex toys. Man, they could really fucking jam.
She said that sexual shame is at the core of this trend. She, quote, whether that's shame surrounding how many people you've had sex with, who you've had sex with, or the type of sex you're having. And if there's one thing we're not taking into 2024, it's sexual shame.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that message.
Look, all right, there's a lot of avenues that have really grind my gears on this one. First of all, when you have that conversation with that special someone about that particular department,
right,
you kind of expect some honesty.
Sure.
You don't expect somebody saying,
I reset my clock.
I'm a 47-year-old virgin. What? You've never... Well, I just believe that every new year, my virginity resets. So wait. What? It just invites a bunch of different questions, and I don't want to get into chompy mages here, but I don't want to get into it. The body count, right? That they're calling it a body count. Second of all, this doesn't work physiologically. I can't go, I'm going to renew my liver.
Right.
Good to go.
Right. You just can't speak things into existence like that. Yeah.
That's what grinds my gears, Ben.
No, I hear you, and there's this weird hang up.
Good to go.
The algorithm can every once in a while get me because I'll stop on one of these fucking misogynistic fucking reels that come across from like an Andrew Tate or something. I'm so fascinated by the nonsense that they're spewing that I watch the whole thing, and then the algorithm thinks that I like that thing, so then it starts giving me more things like that, and then suddenly I just have toxic masculinity all over my fucking page. And it's just men spewing how they can have as many body count. Their body count could be whatever, but they want a woman who has no body count. And that like it's this whole like weird, like do as I say, not as I do thing that is coming from the males is just fucking weird. It's
hello.
just fucking crazy.
Hello. I think it's hello.
You
It's
can't
quarter of the night.
Zero guys.
Right? It doesn't matter.
If you're an incel, yeah.
Speaking of things shaking,
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole lot of things going on. Did you see any of this earthquake in Japan that happened on New Year's Day?
I did not see anything from it. I heard about it. It was there was a thought that there would be some tsunamis that may occur. Yeah. Holy shit! Oh god, that's not me being on mushrooms, right?
Right. No, the ground's moving like a Disney ride, like you're in a tram.
My whole studio was moving like that about an hour ago.
Yeah, we'll do 5 next time, Ben. But that was the 7.6
dude.
Earthquake.
At 7:12 an hour ago, if you'd have told me to take 2 more of those, that I had taken 2 more of those, I'd have been like, dude, I went too far. The fact that it hasn't lasted as long as I thought it would now does make me feel like I could definitely do 5. Now for like a 15 to 25 minute window, I am going to be fucking flying and probably could not put together a whole sentence. But after that, I could probably make it work.
I mean, we talk about like saliva, the saliva type experience.
Salvia,
thank you.
That was no. That I would never do again in my entire life. That was way different and was also much, much shorter. But yeah, that was stupid. Anything synthetic that I should have. Young me was too stupid to realize. Like 43-year-old me would be like, Rick, we're gonna go where and buy what? No, let's just watch the Bears game. Let's just watch the Bears game. Yeah,
it is a legendary. But that's enough about that. Yeah. Ben, sometimes you see things on the internet that you will never unsee.
Holy shit!
Next,
that is incredible.
Is one of those things.
Oh my god! I can't. Sorry, I was getting the video ready and it played through, and I'm shocked by what I just saw.
I don't know what the gimmick is. I don't know what the
That's
point
Steve
is.
Aoki, right?
I believe so.
I think that's Steve Aoki, the DJ.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
That's a whole sheet cake.
A whole sheet cake with precision.
That accuracy. Is incredible. He could not do that again in 100 tries. He couldn't.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That man seemed very confident about his ability to throw a whole sheet cake.
That's crazy. That is, he couldn't have thrown that more perfectly.
So she's asking him to cake me. So I'm assuming this is like
Hayden's telling us he does this in every show.
Like okay, so
Billy Wack shopped for the fucking cake.
This is uncanny.
That's incredible that he is able to throw a cake with that accuracy.
A headshot.
That's insane.
All right,
how did I not know this was a thing?
We're all leveling up here. This is great. That again, the description. There's no curve. There's no drop. It's straight gas. There's
Yes,
a fastball
it is
to that woman's face.
Yes, she takes it like a goddamn champ.
Oh, and look, every one of them.
Loving it, never hands up, nothing. Took the fucking
He's
cake.
literally
full
her
on.
signs asking, "Cake me,"
There's
and
so many
he
things
like
about
made
this.
it happen.
This is incredible.
How many times? How many? Can you imagine the practicing? Like he's got a tree set up in his yard. And there's like 50 sheet cakes like
I
on
mean, I guess
tables.
if you do this every night, you'd become a fucking expert at
I mean,
it,
I
right?
hope so.
You would know how far you could throw it. You know what I mean? Like how many times has he failed and hit people short of that?
Yeah, somebody like didn't want it.
You
Somebody was
didn't
like,
want-
not
yeah.
right. Like,
Wait, there's a wheelchair guy video? Hold on.
okay.
Hold on. All right, hold on. We'll figure this out. Give me a second. There's a wheelchair. Sorry, I'm going to say I'm looking for wheelchair guy Steve Aoki on
And probably
YouTube.
cake.
Yeah, hold on.
'Cause
Hold on.
If there's a wheelchair dude taking that shot, like
Yes,
that's
we're gonna
not
end the
light
show
either.
right there. We may not even do the fucking lightning round. Wheelchair
a
guy
sheet
Steve
is not
Aoki.
light. That's like
Cake.
7, 8, 9 pounds to throw. What, like 7 to what?
Steve
12
Aoki, longest cake throw, hits guy in wheelchair.
Longest cake throw?
What? Hold on.
I didn't know this was a thing, guys.
This is crazy. Yeah, me neither. And
Did
I now
not.
need to know everything about Steve Aoki.
I mean, I've played plenty of his songs back in my DJing days.
I did
But
not
like
know he
that,
was
like-
this fucking rad, though. All right. This kid's loving it, wants it bad.
It's like, here's the cake.
He's
Just
so
throw
far from the fucking stage. No!
No way.
No! 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 No way! That just happened!
What?
Hold on! He threw that from up there! What? No! No way that just happened! Steve Aoki is not human!
No!
He is not human! There's no way you could throw cake with that kind of accuracy! No way! And it wasn't even from like the lower part of the stage. It's from the upper part of the stage. Shut the fuck up.
That is something. That is something else.
I am mind blown.
I'm right there with you. And I've just
And
been
it still
thinking,
hit him
like,
icing side first. Yes. What are the
right,
odds?
that like it,
No way.
there are dudes on ecstasy like licking him right now. That's really weird.
Yes,
But
yes, that
outside
is
of
also
like
weird. I'm mind blown.
wow.
How am I 43 years old and I just found out about this now?
I had no idea. I knew who Steve Aoki is
I knew he was famous,
for throwing cakes.
but not for
There's
fucking
not
throwing
a
cakes
single-
like a goddamn magician.
Nobody's mentioned a goddamn song yet. Just that the fact that dude, he throws it, that's his gimmick. He throws cakes. Dude, I'd sit through a set to watch this.
100%. The next time Steve Aoki's anywhere within my fucking realm, I am going to watch Steve Aoki because I want to see that motherfucker with my own eyes throw a cake that perfect. I gotta see it with my own eyes. Because
Tell
if it
me
is,
there's no
if I can see it
God.
with my own eyes, Brooks, the man is not human. He is from another planet. Him and octopuses are from another planet.
Octopi.
Octopuses.
Oh, hello. One more thing, folks, before we get to my dad's favorite segment.
We can't have a day without a show without elephants, can we?
It's either elephants or hippos.
Yeah, it's
with this
physically.
show
I think it's
going.
part of the show contract at this point.
Basically, we often show how cute elephants are.
This is to placate our significant others. Let's be honest.
and just to let you know, like, they're cute, strong AF.
Yes. Look at this.
What singular? Like, think about that tree. Oh, it's a strong wind. Oh, those winds across the savannah. Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, this is just a
The
fucking.
root-
That's not even a full size
Hey, wait.
elephant.
Wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, how long had that tree been standing there? Decades,
Probably
at least.
to get that tall.
Yeah,
And it's like the elephant's like, I'm just gonna eat.
and that's
your
not even a
food.
full-size elephant again. That's like a baby elephant.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The beauty of nature.
It really is.
As
It's incredible. The power and majesty of the elephant.
and just to eat some leaves because that's all it's gonna eat. To be honest with you, so I mean, just cool stuff and underappreciated nature that we always like to bring to this particular area of the show. In this particular area of the show, we want to tickle your fancy, and we do so via the segment called The Lightning Round. And this segment, ladies and gentlemen, I read off 3 headlines. I read them into a loudspeaker that then produces them over the PA in the Thunderdome, which is the world's most dangerous chat zone, and you can already see the thunderbolts going up. Welcome to my dad's favorite segment, folks. It's touching, but without any...
Even the Australian guy's getting in on the game.
Hello, Australian guy. Welcome. Without dilly or dally. Or dithering. No, we don't dither.
We added that for 2024.
Absolutely.
No dithering.
It's on the whiteboard in the office. Headline number 1. Priest severs his penis with a knife after being driven psychotic by a tick bite.
That thing just kept going.
It kind of rolls on the tongue too.
Yeah, wow.
Headline number 2. China. Outrage over doctor punching patient during surgery. And headline number 3. I wanted leg lengthening surgery and muscle implants to look like The Rock. The cost and side effects weren't worth it.
I bet fucking not. What is wrong with you?
That I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to influence
Whoa.
anything. I'm not an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer.
No,
I'm not posting half naked pictures.
All right,
of
here
my
we
body
go.
on
They're rolling in.
Yeah. So
Penis
folks,
priest.
penis priest. The PP.
That's the
that should be
weird-
number 1. It is number 1. Get it? The PP
Yeah,
is number 1.
hey.
Hey! Oh God, the votes are coming.
Wow,
in
votes
faster.
are fucking flying in.
All right, I gotta go to the other.
Ryan
view that
Hansen with his alternate cuts. First cut is the deepest. Yikes. New age Anastasia, and the crock is cooking.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's see.
Man.
I literally had to go to the other view to keep up with the votes as they
Me
rolled.
too. I just had to do that too.
Awesome. All 3 are good. Chompy Mage, you still have to vote.
Yeah,
And
he did. He's
Okay,
changed
there
his
it
vote.
is.
I don't know if we allow that, but we'll allow it.
For
this
him,
time.
he gets carte
Yeah,
blanche.
young Aaron
He's
gets
a prince of the show, as we
He
say.
is really like there's the VIPs, and then he's like the prince.
The Australian guy's in there. Thank you, sir. Never mind number 1. Aaron's gonna go with number 1.
God, we got some fucking votes, and they're kind of all across the board.
One is
today.
going, yeah, but there's a theme running here.
Yeah, people want to hear about this priest cut his dick off.
And we love to please as it.
There's one thing that the fucking Thunderdome loves. It is penis stories, and every once in a while, some shit stories.
Penis, knife, and tick stories are like that. That's the hashtag that gets us going.
That ticks a lot of boxes.
Ma Jordan in there for a vote. I appreciate that. But
I think number 1's going to run away with this, huh?
It's no help as number 1 has run away with this.
I still can't believe Steve Aoki hit that kid in the wheelchair.
I swear to God, like worth the price of admission.
I can't believe I saw it. If it wasn't on camera, I wouldn't believe it.
I'll literally be in my chair for most of that show until that moment of the
Right,
show.
exactly. I'll wait in my car, honestly.
Right, like when's he do it? At the end? All right, I got a book to
I'll
read.
be
Like
there.
I brought my Switch. I can play something. Headline number 1 is your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Priest severs his penis with a knife after being driven psychotic by a tick bite. A Czech priest, of course,
Of course.
severed his own penis with a knife after being driven psychotic by a tick bite. The unnamed priest was found in his home in a small village, which I will not pronounce, after friends feared for his life. I should probably, there's no pictures. I'll just keep reading. After his friends feared for his life when he failed to show up for prearranged plans. Firefighters were forced to break through 3 doors to get to the priest, who was found with severe injuries to his genitals. Again, severe injuries to his genitals is my favorite prog rock band.
Yes.
He ended up in a hospital, but his
Very Blue Oyster cultish.
and he was put into an induced
It was
coma
God's plan.
and ended up needing a ventilator to assist his breathing.
Poor bastard.
He was put under for 10 days, and his boss, Vicar General of whatever diocese, I'm not going to pronounce that one either. This guy's name was David Hensel. He revealed that the priest had suffered tick-borne encephalitis, which causes inflammation of his nervous system, leading him to suffer a form of psychosis. While Hensel said his injuries were comparatively minor, again, this particular Vice Rykar, what was his name?
Is he comparatively minor? He chopped his dick off.
Vicar General said the injuries were comparatively minor. Sir, compared to what?
Yeah, he cut his dick off.
And he bled so much that they had to put him in a coma medically.
Yeah, all from a fucking tick bite. Just go to the doctor.
Compared to what, sir?
Yes, I just can't imagine.
Vicar General, please tell me.
Yeah, what could be worse?
While Hensel said his injuries were comparatively minor, several sources told Czech newspaper Blesk that he should have had his genitals amputated. This is getting weird. One added that he had also suffered a concurrent viral infection while in the hospital, complicating his medical situation.
Ugh.
The police had previously ruled out someone else had caused the priest's injuries.
I wonder how they determined that.
That shame, chop. The priest's condition is currently not known.
They didn't even want to name him. They felt so bad for him.
Unknown priest, but that his boss, the Vicar General,
also another great band from the 80s, Unknown Priest.
and their best song is Vicar General.
It's a classic. How could you
I
not
don't know. If you're not on Spotify, what are you?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Folks, that was it. The first show of 2024, Ben. And you kicked it off with mushrooms. I kicked it off with a really shitty beer.
Yeah, Amanita mushroom gummies. I think I had to go be like a regular part because I was having a good time. I was laughing. Steve Aoki fucking blew my goddamn mind.
I more Steve Aoki. And again,
Yes.
we're going to...
I can't. I'm gonna be talking about
Dad
that.
effing Brooks with Father's Day.
There it is. Alternate headline for all alternate headlines.
Father Dick, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Kicking off 2024 in style. Father Dick.
Join us
And
next
all the-
week. Maybe I'll do more mushrooms.
So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. An Australian guy, welcome. Swallow. Come on.
Hello, whoever
Holla.
you are. Thank you.
Come on in. This is what we do every Wednesday. Welcome from USS Rapapa. It's been Topic Thunder, Ben and Brooks. Good night.